Hello world of YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Tier Time, the show where I get niche with it, and to close out Viewer Appreciation Month this July, we're also going to be bringing back an idea from the dead in vein of the theme I've been doing of giving ideas that I put on the back burner a second chance to shine. This video topic in question was going to be my April Fool's special this year. Thank you to everybody who voted on this and made it the winner. It was a very fun video to make. And thank you for watching all the stuff that I've been dropping this month and enjoying seemingly what I've been doing. The subject of the video involves one of my favorite bands of all time and continuing a bit that I did last year where I did a breakdown of their discography on April Fool's Day so as to repurpose another non-holiday to celebrate the White Stripes because they broke up on Groundhog's Day. Today I'm going to be looking at all of their music videos that they released while they were an active band, and I used that asterisk on there because post-2016, they've dropped 4 music videos posthumously as a band. Both Jack and Meg are alive, but Michel Gondry, who has worked with them a lot through their career, did a video for their song City Lights, and post-2020, Wartella has done 3 music videos for the band for Apple Blossom, Let's Shake Hands, and Black Math, but I won't be talking about those because, unlike these music videos were done so to promote the music that they were making now, and it feels like the other music videos are more sort of a celebration of a legacy. Hell, the Black Math music video that came out this year was done to celebrate the 20th anniversary of my favorite record of theirs, Elephant, which also was a reason why I wanted to make said Tier Time. Now, I would say the White Stripes, in particular, similarly to bands like the Foo Fighters and Weird Al Yankovic that I've done looks at their music videos on, used videos as a great vehicle for their music as far as creating a visual spectacle with the directors that they worked with to make something to represent a song or at least create some nice imagery for a banger. And I would argue similarly to those acts, the music videos that they made helped me get more into the band. That's one of the big reasons why I also wanted to do this. I mean, Fuse did huge rotations of putting the White Stripes catalog on display, and I was always stoked to see one of their videos on because I think that they've never made a bad video. They've always had some really cool ideas, or good ideas at least, at their core to explore, and today I'm going to be looking at their videos in chronological order and putting them in a tier while also talking about my thoughts on each video and kind of talking about them with clips of them playing above my head. And the first video that they released back in 2001 was for the track Hotel Yorba from White Blood Cells. It was directed by Anthony Ernest Garth and Dan Miller, and it's a simple song with a simple video. The song itself is about a hotel in Detroit called the Hotel Yorba and various scenarios that would take you there, and it has the band both outside and presumably inside. They didn't film any of it inside the actual Hotel Yorba, but conceptually they're supposed to be playing throughout rooms in the hotel. It's a very, again, simple video. There's also a scene with a church in Jack's neighborhood of Detroit where the two of them get married, and it's a solid enough video to put yourself out there as a band. It feels very band's first music video in the best way possible. I think that it's very solid, and I think that it's alright. It's not bad. Excuse me, I'm going to put it in the B tier. It's one of a handful of videos where it's very simple. It's the band performing the song in a location, and I think that contextually, artistically speaking, that's a pretty solid first note. The video that they filmed on the same day at the closing of the shooting for Hotel Yorba, at least in the following year, We're Gonna Be Friends, also from White Blood Cells, one of those simple acoustic jams. The video's one take. It's Jack playing by himself while Meg sleeps next to him on the couch. Makes sense. It's just him and a guitar. If we're talking simple-ass music videos for very simple songs, We're Gonna Be Friends is the best way to do it. It's just such a chill, intimate video, and I really like the video for We're Gonna Be Friends. I don't explicably have a nuanced reason to say it. I just think that, again, if you're doing something simple, cut and dry, that's the way to do it. It's not my favorite music video by the White Stripes, but it is a damn good one in my opinion. It was absolutely the best way to portray that simple yet catchy and addictive song. After that, though, they had what was the first of a handful of team-ups with artistic director Michel Gondry, a guy that I like the couple of movies of his that I've seen, and I think is just one of my favorite music video directors. In the White Stripes catalog, the dude just doesn't fucking miss, in my opinion. And Fell in Love with a Girl is an incredible first collaboration. It's going in the S tier. It's not my favorite music video by the band, but I would say it's easily in my top 3 at least. It's entirely made by Lego Stop Motion, and it's just a nice visual good time. You know, it cuts between various shots of the band playing in Lego form while various actions happen that are animated by Legos. It's a fun ass video that I think is easily one of the best music videos of the 2000s, in tandem with being one of the best music videos by the band. It is so damn good. If you haven't seen it, I would argue it is one of the quintessential music videos to watch of its era. It's just so great. They know their color palette. They know, again, what they want to do creatively, and they just pull it together. And in the case of working with Michel Gondry, again, they just don't miss. Case in point, the next video they dropped with him, Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground, the opener to White Blood Cells, and another really, really good music video. I don't like it as much as Fell in Love with a Girl, but it is a very, very good one. It sees Jack White coming home to a destroyed house while 2-scale accurate video is played on the walls of the events the night before. Super creative, really good use of its space. A lot of the camera work and framing is just really well done. It adds a sort of creative dramatics to the video playing over Jack White just lamenting at coming home to a destroyed house. It's, again, simple but effective. Really good and engaging with the viewer, and also just a good set piece and visual companion to what is a great song with some staunch guitars. The intensity that the guitars reach throughout the song and the chorus helps accent that sort of juxtaposition of walking in to a destroyed house. And I like that in the verses they also showcase other aspects of their building relationship before this what seemingly ultimately was a meltdown where the points of destruction do happen. And again, shows that emotional juxtaposition and the soft, loud dynamic that the song has really well. And I think that it's a great fucking video. Again, not my favorite White Stripes video, but a damn good one in my opinion. It also showcases Michel Gondry's creative vision in full display. The next one that they released for the first, which was the first one for Elephant, was Seven Nation Army, directed by Alex and Martin. And if we're talking simple video and execution, I would argue the Elephant era might be my least favorite of it, which is shocking to say because Elephant's my favorite record by the band. And while I don't hate the simplicity of Seven Nation Army, I do think that it is one of my lesser favorites in the White Stripes video catalog. It's just sort of like the band playing in front of these triangles that keep zooming in and having images sort of zoom in with it. It's sort of a continuous kaleidoscope style music video, and it's very visually stimulating, but in the context of like taking a simple concept and executing it, I just don't think it's as creatively interesting as anything I've talked about thus far. It's a banger song, obviously. Seven Nation Army is like one of the most iconic songs from the band's catalog, and I would argue the video itself, similarly to like The Pretender by the Foo Fighters, is a high, glossy-ass look of the band. I just think that, like, unlike The Pretender, it doesn't have a moment where it kind of culminates into something else. It's fine. I will say it's good, like, background video to have, because not only does it advertise the band well by having them on full display, growing as the sort of background that they're standing in front of grows. Again, and the flashing lights help add to that visual stimulation. I just don't think that it's as engaging or compelling as the other ones. Similarly to the simplicity of Seven Nation Army, the next video that the band pulled together was one with Sofia Coppola, of all directors, for I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself. I feel like similarly to the video to We're Gonna Be Friends, it knows what it does and does it pretty well. It's a song with a huge build to it, but it keeps it simple. It's Kate Moss doing some dance routines with some lights, culminating to a pole dancing, directed by Sofia Coppola. It looks great, because it's got a great director making it. It knows what it is, and it does it, in my opinion. I don't think that it's as creatively invigorating or as creme de la creme as the We're Gonna Be Friends video, but for being a video that knows what it is and does it, I think that it does it well. Is it as visually, like, stimulating and like, continuously engaging, maybe, as the Seven Nation Army video? Not necessarily. There's a lot more flashing lights and the continuous sort of hypnotic scroll of the triangles. I could see being more engaging than this. Not as creatively engaging as this or anything else I'll talk about. Case in point, the next video they made was another Michel Gondry banger. The Hardest Button to Button. Another visually iconic video, something parodied by The Simpsons back in the day. It has the band playing in this sort of way where they're continually moving forward with replicas of their instruments sort of staying behind them with every beat that marches with the song. It's a good sort of visualization of the progression of the song and of the rhythm of the song, and I really enjoyed this video. I would argue it's one of my favorites as well. It's another top 3 banger. Again, Michel Gondry and the White Stripes just don't miss, and I feel like, again, as far as using a visual style and make it engaging, especially by the end when they're doing the sort of hyper editing of the band jumping between each place where the instruments are to the rhythm of the song. Great visual stimulation, great use of simplistic structure to a song to create something a little more engaging visually. I fucking love this video, and it was one of my favorites that always came on back in the day. Still is to this day. I think that's a great video, in my opinion. The next video that was the first for the album Get Behind Me Satan, the album that was the first to release after getting to the band, was for the song Blue Orchid, directed by Floria Sigismondi, and is very, again, similar to some of the ones I've talked about. Simple in concept, but executed pretty solidly. It sees the band in this rundown house in these very aesthetic as fuck style clothing, that very stylishly clothed. Jack also introduces his pencil, mustache, and goatee look that he would carry throughout most of this era, and I think that it's a pretty solid video. You know, it's a good use of its set. There's also a ballerina dancing throughout parts of the video to add to the sort of pseudo-creepiness. While there are parts where the band is sort of together, whenever they're apart, Meg is usually, like, hitting on something to emulate her thudding bass drum. It's a good use of a lot of the components of the band in the video. It's very, very solid. Very solid start to the Get Behind Me Satan era, in my opinion, and I always like when this video came on. It's not like in my top 5 White Stripes videos, but it's a pretty good one. After that, they had their first in a couple of collaborations with the Malloys for My Doorbell, a fucking simple, charming, ass, catchy bop that really showcases the creative pivot that the band did during this era with its more piano-driven sound. And the video itself is sort of an homage to, like, old band performances from, like, the 60s, in my opinion, because it's the band playing the song in black and white in front of a child audience, and the kids are losing their minds and really getting into the song. It's a really cute video, and I think that, again, similarly to creating something simple and executing it well, it's really well done. I like the production value in this. It's got another aesthetic similarly to the Blue Orchid video, and I think it uses its aesthetic well, and I like it. And I think that it's fun. Now, they closed out the Get Behind Me Satan era with another Michel Gondry banger with the Denial Twist. I'm putting this in the S tier. It's my other top 3, another one of my top 3 favorite White Stripes music videos, and it's partially because it also features friend of Jack White and Meg White and my favorite late night TV show host, Conan O'Brien. And as far as utilizing Michel Gondry's creative style, this is, in my opinion, the most Michel Gondry feeling video he's made with the White Stripes. It has this sort of visual style that feels very indicative of his directing in a movie like Be Kind, Rewind. It has the band jumping between being in a house and being on stage with Conan O'Brien. It almost has this look like they're miniatures being played with in a small world. It really plays and distorts reality, and camera-wise, it's got this different kind of visual style to it as well. It's just a very creative looking video, and I think as far as, again, using a director and their creative vision and pulling together something really, really cool. I think that the Denial Twist is just a great piece de resistance for the collaborations with Michel Gondry that they would do while they were an active band. Now, after the Denial Twist dazzled and mystified me, the band was pivoting into their last era, and an era that I really enjoy, and I would say music video-wise, still has some pretty fucking good stuff in it. And they started with a collaboration, Icky Thump. It's a song that's about anti-immigration laws and spitting in the face of them. The video itself sees Jack White going to Mexico. This video is captioned, or closed captioned in Spanish. He meets Icky Thump. Stuff happens in Mexico, and Jack and Meg also play together. It cuts between those shots. It is a pretty good video. Pretty solid video. I don't mind this video. I think that it's alright. I think that as far as, again, introducing this era, does so pretty well, similarly to Blue Orchid. It has an aesthetic. It sticks to that aesthetic. Meg's makeup as Icky Thump, I think, is done pretty well, and I think that it's a solid-ass video. With that being said, I think that they sent their music video career off as an active band with a great chef's kiss, a coup de grace moment, if you will, with Conquest, directed by Diane Martel. It has Jack White playing the role of a matador in his battle with the bull. It's got some injections of diegetic use of this cover in a different performance. I think that it is a good ass music video for a band that was all about utilizing style and creatively pulling that together to create at least a solid visual representation to enhance the song masterfully. Fucking love this video. I think it's cool. I think it's quirky. It's got a little goofiness in it with the bull stuff, but I really like this. I think that it's a fun-ass music video that I think, again, sends the band's career off into the sunset beautifully. I think it's a great cover, and I think this video pairs with it incredibly well. And that's how I would rank the White Stripes videography as it was while they were an active band. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this episode of Tier Time, give it a like. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. I drop 2 to 4 vids a week, depending on what I've got going on. Hopefully you did enjoy this, though. I'm gonna go. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.